Hi guys, welcome to Chambua Designs. Today we are going to do a logo design, part of our upcoming beginner series in branding. And also excuse me if I use a bit of Swahili in the course of this tutorial. So leo tunachambua corporate branding. We're going to use Adobe Illustrator. Without wasting time, let's dive in. I'll share the link in the description on where to get them and any other resources I'll use in this tutorial. So this is Adobe Illustrator. We're going to create a new file. As you can see, it creates a new document and it asks you what preset or what template do you want to use. For the sake of this tutorial, we are going to use web, and I'm going to go for 1920 by 1080, which is a full HD when it comes to screen resolutions. Also, details, I can call this Volt. Volt, yes, because the logo I'm going to create, it's a logo type called Volt. Also, the width and the height is 1920 by 1080. We have the pixels here, which is represented as px here. If I change maybe to meters, it's going to go in meters, but I'm going with pixels. Also, we have all these other metrics you can use, and we have the orientation. You want it landscape or portrait and landscape, yeah. And the numbers of artboards, it's only one. Yeah, all these other things are okay. We come down here, the color mode is RGB because this is the default for any type of screen. CMYK is used for print. And now we have raster effect. Screen is 72 ppi. I think we're going to crank it up to a higher resolution, 300 ppi. Well, ppi means pixel per inch. So pixel per inch is what is measured on a screen resolution, and the higher the ppi, the more crisp and clear your graphic is. So enough with the settings. There isn't any other thing we're going to add on this, so we just create. Yeah, it just took a while. Anyway, so as you can see, this is the workspace of Adobe Illustrator. It has all the tools that you'll need to use on the left, and we have some of the functions on the top and also some functions on the right. So for now, we are going to focus on the things on the left. We have this as the selection tool. So the selection tool basically just selects any object in your scene. Let's say, for instance, let's come here and create a rectangle tool. Click the rectangle tool and create a rectangle. So holding shift and dragging your left mouse button, it creates a uniform square. Yes. Anyway, let me delete that, backspace. And without holding shift, it creates a random rectangle. So the purpose of shift in this software is to bring uniformity in different shapes. Like for instance, if I hold shift on this one, it will never misbehave, but if I release the shift, anything can happen. Yeah. So for this tutorial, we're going to go to the rectangle tool and click and hold your left mouse button, and other options will pop up. We have a rectangle tool, we have a rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, star tool, and flare tool. For this tutorial, let's go with polygon tool. So holding shift and dragging, we have the whole polygon there. So sorry guys, I'm really clearing my throat right now because I'm experiencing a cold, but anyway. Click on the line segment and holding shift, drag it down. So it's gonna create a uniform line downwards. This. So now selecting the selection tool, now I can tap on this. I can click and drag it around using the selection tool. As the same to this as well. Can just drag it around. Yeah. So now I need to make a mesh out of this. I'm using this polygon as my guide, my base guide to the logo. So using this, I'll create the mesh. So when I click on an object, let's say like this one, its properties are on the right. So you can see the width and the height. What are the measurements? The same to this. So we're gonna use the angle tool. This is the angle tool on this. So what angle are we going for? Let's see. I want it to be in line with one segment of the polygon. Yeah, so I'm trying to line up this line just to fit perfectly with one segment of the polygon. I think it's well fit. Maybe just to confirm this, just to confirm this. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, perfect. So I really don't think I need this anyway. Now I can just delete that. Now with this one, I will just hold Option. To the Windows users is Alt, and dragging it outside, click and drag. Yeah, and then from there now I can just hold Command or Control for the Windows users. Control or Command D a couple of times, and it creates that effect. So now I can just click and drag from a white space area. Make sure everything is all selected. Holding Command or Control G, I group everything up. So now the next thing is to duplicate this. Again, holding, anytime you want to duplicate things in line, you see, like for instance, if I hold Option or if I hold Option or Alt from a Windows computer, if I drag it out, it will drag out, but it can just go in any other direction. But if I want it to drag in the same position, I just hold Option or Alt and Shift, then drag, like so. Exactly. So now with this one part of this thing, once I click it, I come to its properties here. We have two types of flipping or mirroring options. So it can mirror vertically or horizontally, or even flip, as they have indicated. So I'll just hit this. Come, put it here. Thank you. Holding Option and Shift, I drag this out. Now for this one, now I need it to cut across the two objects. Okay, so for this one, I'll just highlight it. The angle, I set it to 0. So now if I put it back in here, this is how it's going to appear. So now you can see we have a couple of triangles inside this 1, 2, 3 objects, right? So highlighting everything like so, I'll take another interesting tool. But before I take another interesting tool, I want you to look at this. Around this area, we have two boxes. This is the fill, which is represented with the X shortcut, and this is the stroke. So the fill is what we want. We don't need the stroke. So we can just click this to interchange. Now we have the fill. Now the other tool we're going to use is called the Shape Builder tool. In a second, I'll just show you how it does its magic. So hitting the selection tool, I'll just select everything up and come to the Shape Builder tool. Make sure once you select the Shape Builder tool, the fill is selected. Now this is a stroke. Interchange, fill. So just zoom in, and I'll try now create a shape out of this. So going like this, I have that V. accepted. I think now we can just confirm if everything is in order in between this. Yeah, I think everything is in order. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to detach the logo from the mesh. In order for me to do that, I will just click the logo itself, right click so that we have an option on the side, and we can just ungroup, because the shape builder tool tends to group the lines and the fill that you create with the logo. So from there now I can just create the logo. I can just highlight the logo and drag it out. So the rest of these other things, I don't think we need them. Now this is all trash. So we have this. This logo looks fine to me. Now the next thing we're going to do now is just give the name Vault. Vault. Drag it out. So I want to highlight all of them, and then highlighting both of them, I can use the alignment. If you don't find this alignment, everything you can find them here in the window section, and you can find align. So if I click it again, it's going to show its own window there. So we have the with align window here. If not, I can still use the align here. So I'll just align them horizontal, align, center. I think it's good. I'm using, what font am I using? I'm using Myrad Pro, but I think I can go for something, let's see, something a bit more like Vault, like this one. Akira. I can use Akira on this one, and maybe just place it there. Yeah, place it down there. And also, yeah, I have aligned everything using the alignment tool, and now I think the logo is good to go. The next thing I'm going to do now is group them up. Then now holding Option and Shift and a corner, you see these corners is where you can just, holding Shift, you can just scale it up and down using the corners of each has the corners, so you can just use that. So I'm just going to scale it down a bit, holding Option Shift and dragging. Yeah, I think that is okay. I think that's okay. So now we're going to add color on this. Let's see. Yeah, so this is Humint. It's a color palette generator. Humint uses machine learning to create unique color schemes for your brand, website, and graphics. So we're gonna launch it. So this is Humint. We have different types of things. Maybe you're doing websites, you got magazine, and you can generate different content according to monochromes as well. You can look at monochrome websites and all that. We have a bunch of stuffs here. We have gradients, different types of gradients. Yeah. And we have illustrations as well. In another episode, maybe we're going to learn how to do these types of illustrations, but for now, let's just go to the brand colors. So this being a one color, I can just go the two. Let me take this, copy the code, and now clicking and holding on the left mouse button, I can choose a rectangle and click and drag to fill up everything. Now we can see that we can't see our logo. So for us to see our logo, we just click on the shape we just created and right click so that we can see these options and send it back. Arrange and send it back. Yeah, so I think our logo is now on the front. We just need to give it a different color. So I will just copy this color code, copy, come back here, double click on the fill to bring this pop-up where you can check. We have the color code here. This is the color code, so we can just Command or Control V to paste that color code we just selected, and boom, we have it. Wait, let me just do it again, and boom, we have it. So for the vault, let's select this as well, copy code, come to the vault and Command or Control V. There we have it. So this is the end of the corporate branding series part 1, and if you found this video of use, kindly pick a subscription, like, share and subscribe. I'm your host Michael Ngugi, na kama kawa, believe you can create. Bye.